Great to be back.
It must be great.
Reading, club statements, like last weekend's club statements.
And there was penalty Wolves should have gotten against Man United.
That's the point. You can go on and on and on about VAR. Just suck it up, all right?
Good morning to each and every one of you right now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mamas and papas. I am Jimmy, and this is Budweiser's Kings of Football show. I am, of course, ably aided in this show right now with the one and only Ozomena, who's here with me in person, not virtually.
What to do, my brother?
Supporting Manchester United on the other side of the fence, shamefully so, is a former king that is now claiming rights to the king throne. Biola Kazim.
Hey, Jimmy, good to be here also. How
Back from Miami.
Low-key. Keep it low-key.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know the voice, you know the personality. He is the one and only Nigeria's most famous Man U fan. The one and only Ebuka Obi Uchendu.
Great to be back.
It must be great.
It is great to be back. I remember when last I was here, I told you guys categorically that Arsenal wasn't going to win the league. That was just before the end of the season. And they were betting and betting.
Yeah, then Jimmy ran away.
They won the league in November as usual. I told them it happened. So it's great to be back. It's been nice seeing you guys bask in this new Arsenal. I always come when it's basking time.
Yeah.
When things are good.
Yeah, exactly.
But in this time for you, things are not so
really
great.
good,
So
I mean, to be honest, football has been giving me a lot of trauma. So I'll just spend my time, just chilling,
this is why
I'm
seems
kind
like,
of off work,
it seems
resting,
like you're so successful at this moment because
exercising,
you're focusing on the things that make you happy.
Reading, club statements, like last weekend's club statements.
I see that was a nice one. That was a nice one. I didn't see that one coming at all.
Did you see the statement?
It was a lot of stuff to say.
There's one match.
They said so much to say nothing.
But it was a build-up.
Like I said, they were dramatizing trauma. It was a drama.
Remember last year or 2 seasons ago, we had a whole series on a streaming platform. So we are very keen to drama. We know how to sensationalize what is and what isn't, and give you reason to take a second look at what is clearly an error.
It was a good goal.
But you do believe that because of what has transpired in that particular game, a lot of changes will happen.
Oh, please.
No, but that's facts.
That's what we said about Liverpool.
But a statement has come out that
Many things have
supported the
happened.
officials to say
But did he support the fact that
it was the right call?
Bruno Guimaraes should have been given a red card?
Kai should have been given a red card as well.
Sorry?
Yeah, Kai Havertz.
Well, the same VAR that you're so in so much great support for said
but
there was
I'm not
nothing
saying
to
any
go
of you
back
talk
on.
about that.
Jimmy, there was a penalty United should have gotten against Arsenal at the Emirates on Højlund. So we can skin these VAR cuts.
And there was a
There was
penalty.
a foul on Gabriel.
And there was penalty Wolves should have gotten against Man United.
That's the point. You can go on and
Exactly.
on and on about
That's what I'm
VAR. Just suck it up. All right?
That is the point.
This drama of trauma has to end. You lost. Move on.
But I think you said something about the fact that, with the Liverpool situation, there was an actual apology.
Yeah, there was.
Because there was a mistake.
And there was a statement.
With
But this
Arsenal,
time,
exactly.
But I think
it says a lot.
I think it's because of the way Arteta went about it. That's actually that was actually
No. It wasn't an emotional decision to apologize to Liverpool. It was factual. The facts have been interrogated, and it is clear that Newcastle's goal was a fair goal. Arsenal lost 1-0. These are the facts. These are the facts.
Isn't it fair to say that Newcastle are actually one of the tougher teams to beat in the Premier League?
Right.
are they the toughest team to beat?
Are they the toughest team to beat?
Right now in the Premier League.
Right now in the
Is
Premier
it
League.
say Man City, isn't it?
Yes, I'll say it's Man City. Then
Yeah.
Liverpool as well. Very
Liverpool
difficult to beat. Even Arsenal.
No,
probably
but what I want to
beat
ask you is
than
this:
Newcastle, right?
Are they tough to beat because of how they defend, or because Manchester City is tough to beat because they're always going to be on the
First
attack?
thing about Newcastle is
So it's not that they're defending. Man City is defending. They're just always on the ball, and you don't have the ball to even have a chance to beat them. But against Newcastle, you can have the ball, but you still are not able to make that penetration that will get you the goal, and they will take you on the counter. So what makes them a tough team to beat? Is it their defense, or is just the way the team is set up for the opposition?
I mean, I guess it's a lot more than just their defense. It is how they defend. I mean, the way it works now is you just don't defend with the 4 guys at the back, right? You know, your midfield have to chip in.
It's a collective
effort. Exactly. You need to stop transitions very quickly. So yes, they attack quite well, but they don't leave a lot of gaps, you know, at the back. I also think that in terms of application, in terms of energy, in terms of sheer enthusiasm, they have it more than a lot of teams, all right? Their players are, you know, quick to track back. They put in a lot of work, you know, to defend. But, you know, like I said, they attack not in large numbers, and they don't concede a lot of space at the back. That means that even when you get the ball off them, you are hardly able to counter-attack them. They always have enough men at the back, and the guys at the front always constantly tracking back.
So in saying that, we all agree they're a bit aggressive in their approach, in the manner in which they play. And
I'll use the word competitive.
He said aggressive.
I would appreciate that. I would appreciate that. And I'm not trying to make it personal, because obviously the most recent would be.
Well, you don't tell them.
Wow.
These are the issues.
But you know,
I know you're hitting.
Oh wow. This is
Continue your statement, sir.
Anyways, let's talk about other attributes of the team. Their coach, Eddie Howe. Since he joined the team, a lot of people said they were going to spend a lot of money because of the Saudi investment that is coming from.
They have spent a lot of money,
but not as you would have expected them to spend.
Not in the City way.
Exactly. The City Mancini time, not even City of Pep.
Yeah.
City Pep is a bit wise in their spending. They buy only what they need in specific areas, or what they know that will take away from their opposition, basically. They're very tactical about how they buy now at Man City. But initially, when they bought Robinho, that's what I'm saying. I'm even going as far back as that. Unnecessary buys, but just
all of those
gallery purchases. But Newcastle haven't done that. Even the most glamorous that they've bought would probably be Trippier.
No,
actually, at the time when they got Trippier,
Alexander Isak as well.
No, I understand those buys now. But the first big one that they got was getting Trippier to come from Atletico Madrid to a team that was struggling for relegation just the season before. For me, you being able to do that is a big deal. So I don't see that as, okay, they bought players. I think it's actually the thing that's working for them is very much the coach. Not his tactics, but his personality, I think.
His tactics as well.
Not just, rather. Because for me...
And it's also long-term. Because
right.
I remember the last time I was here as well, we were talking about coach of the season, I think.
Yeah,
and his name came up a lot while we're having that conversation. He says a lot that a season later... He's doing things consistently.
First season got them in the Champions League.
Yeah. And he's competing with the big boys, basically, and keep crushing them. That's it. I think he says a lot about it. So I don't know if personality obviously helps, because a lot of coaches have used that. I mean, Sir Alex is very famous for using his personality much more than.
But where were these tactics when Eddie Howe was at Bournemouth?
He was great at Bournemouth. They were in the EPL for 5 years. He kept them up for 5 years. But eventually, if you're a small team and you're losing your best players, at some point you run out of luck, right? They got into a spell where they had sold quite a number of players, and then they wanted to bring in a couple of big buys, Jordan Ibe, Solanke, and just that summer it didn't work.
Just didn't work.
And the EPL is extremely brutal on mistakes. You have one bad year as a small side, you don't have the latitude or buffer, to recover. You could pay with relegation. That was what happened. But he kept them up for 5 years. That itself, was quite an achievement.
The problem I think he may run into is the fact that when you look at Newcastle's performances, even also their performances in Europe, he's a little bit too negative. If you look the lineup he put out against Dortmund midweek, he had Livramento that was meant to be playing as the right winger. So it was a very defensive lineup in a game that you actually have to win. So my thought process is he may be the one to take them to this level, but they may need to actually have a change in management if they want to start winning titles. Because I'm being a little bit harsh, but if I look at his performances, especially tactically, I'm
not even being sentimental. I feel like it's.
I think his performances have been so negative in most of the big games.
In what big game? I mean, away at AC Milan, you can't attack AC Milan. Also, you must respect the side that you are. You are Newcastle. After all is said and done, being in the Champions League, I'm sure last season when it started, they were not expecting them to be in the Champions League.
Facts,
and so if you get into the Champions League and you go away to Milan, the intelligent thing to do is to respect them. They got a draw. At home against PSG, they attacked.
Game was a game that
they beat PSG 4-1, right?
Yeah, but again, you use the word they attacked. But you're playing Dortmund. But you're playing a Dortmund side that just lost 4-0 to Bayern. Yes, they needed to have like a response, but you as Newcastle, you needed to win that game. So that was why his tactical setup for me that game was a little bit really off.
I get the point because they had actually lost at home to Dortmund.
Yeah,
and so they needed look at the game against Dortmund at home. They attacked relentlessly. They hit the post 4 or 5 times. Sometimes it's just the margins. But if you go away to Signal Iduna, honestly, European night against Borussia Dortmund, unless you are a big side, I think the intelligent thing to do is to be quite cautious, at least in the first half, and then see if you can nick a goal. At home, European night, there are some sides, Liverpool at home on an European night, Dortmund at home. The atmosphere alone just takes 20-30% off your performance.
I like
you are probably not going to be able to play very well.
Or like Copenhagen at home.
I don't think these punches are going to hit these guys. These guys are already down. So
I don't know what's I don't know watch
all these, they are coping very well.
I was not there.
Copenhagen.
I haven't said that. I know what I am very aware of the fact that Ebuka, you've experienced the atmosphere at a Premier League game before, whether it's from the perspective of a home team at Old Trafford. Biola, I do believe you've had that experience as well.
I ran into Ebuka at Old Trafford.
At Old Trafford, beautiful.
Just randomly.
You've also experienced the Emirates Stadium and I believe Leicester City's stadium as well. I've enjoyed the privilege of being a guest of yours at one of your trips to Old Trafford. So what I'm saying is, do you think St. James's Park is one of the toughest stadiums to go to? And the crowd, I don't know if you've been to Anfield, but Anfield is generally accepted as the scariest place to go to as an away fan or away team. But what do you say about the atmosphere at St. James's Park and what the crowd brings for Newcastle?
I mean, I haven't seen a game there, but you can tell Newcastle has a history, right? They have a very, very solid history. They had a great run, late 90s to the early 2000s and all of that. When you have a club that has that sort of a culture, it's almost impossible for there not to be that sort of a home connection. Buzz that you're talking about. I think it's there. I think it waned over the years, of course, because Newcastle struggled for a long time.
Do you think they're getting back there?
They're going into their second/third year
and
now of some sort of a solid performance. And it does a lot of things to fans, right? And those fans who were there, who knew what it felt like, it's going to come back. And it might not be Liverpool. Liverpool is a completely different beast, if we're being honest. But I think it's there. You can't have that sort of a culture and tradition for so long and it not exist to a certain extent.
Yeah.
In reality, Howe is probably going to become a victim of his own success. I don't think that they expected to be in Champions League within the first year of the season. Now that they are in the Champions League,
so when your hands are that full,
it becomes the expectation, right? Yeah. So if they don't get in the Champions League end of this season, it looks like they have gone, backwards. I would have, for his own sake and for Newcastle's sake, I would have rather they go into the Europa League, do well, maybe get up to the semi-finals so that he can build up gradually. I think that he's done so well so quickly that eventually conversations could be had to say, we're supposed to be in the Champions League. If I'm not in the Champions League, probably because it's negative, probably because he doesn't have
the money's there now, so it might not necessarily be...
But, the money is there, but they also have to be intelligent, which was the point you guys were trying to make, in the sense that there was a time you could go on that folly that City went on, where you could buy all sorts of Robinho and all whatnot, and not pay a very heavy price. Yeah. The way it is right, okay, I can give you a simple example. Manchester United have bought a lot of players for excessive amounts of money that has not impacted results. You pay a price for it. So I'd rather what Newcastle is doing, build a very, very solid base of decent quality players, and then when marquee players become available. Because the reality of the matter is that if you are Newcastle, marquee players are not going to be flowing your direction unless you are paying over the odds and paying them excessive salaries. The best thing to do is to have a very solid base of players and performances that one or two marquee players can be like, I like what's going on there. Let me go and join them. If you try to build your club around marquee signings and you're in the north of England, with that accent and the food, you'll be paying double the going rate.
I totally agree with you guys, but I want to get our X-Space users on here right now. A couple of you have already shown interest in giving an opinion. I'd like to know, do you think Newcastle are the toughest team to play in the Premier League today? And if so, why is that? I do have Quadri here. Quadri, go ahead and unmute yourself and give me your opinion on Newcastle.
Thank you very much. Good morning to everyone.
How you doing?
My first time this season. For me, Newcastle, they're a good team. I think they've blended well under Eddie Howe.
What team do you support?
I'm an Arsenal fan. Sorry. I'm an Arsenal fan.
Welcome. No wonder you're stammering. When you hear Newcastle, you have PTSD.
No. For me, I think they've been phenomenal under Eddie Howe, and we know Eddie Howe has been fantastic with Bournemouth before, even though he ended up, going on.
Well, are they the toughest team to play in the Premier League?
Currently, yes. I think the reason is in terms of physicality. Yes, they have. They combine physicality and everything. They bring
physicality. I mean, Arsenal fans know a lot about their physicality. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was so obvious on Saturday as well too, even though we played.
So you think that Newcastle is tougher to play than Manchester City?
For me, yes, because do you know the reason? They know how to they know how to pass the ball. City, City has the flair, doing the playing and everything. And we also saw it at the Carling Cup as well too, at the Capital One against Man City. Once you allow Newcastle to score you first, then you are in big trouble. It is very, very hard for teams to come back against them once they score you first. Because they know how to pass the balls and, soak up the pressure and, maybe strike you through the counters. So I think in the Premier League this season, yes, City doesn't play that way. We know how Pep plays, free playing football, playing from back. But Newcastle are not ready for that. They want to kick you. They want to play with everything they've got. I think it's a new tactics for them as well too, and it's working for them this season.
Thank you. I like the tactics you've used here to just hail your conqueror. As you have been waxing lyrical about Newcastle, even though they whooped your big behind as an Arsenal fan last week. Wow, guys. So in a nutshell, we do agree that Newcastle is a tough team to beat. Not the toughest. Toughest or not?
I still go with City.
City toughest? Yeah. City still toughest for you?
Liverpool.
Liverpool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Really? Liverpool. City have lost thrice in the league.
There's that.
Arsenal has lost once. Tottenham has lost once. Liverpool has lost how many times?
When you watch Liverpool, you just...
they're Liverpool are very dangerous.
Historically, they're a tough team.
No, I'm even saying when you watch them now, you wonder how would they lose.
I'll stick with City.
If you look at City, you just know that if you take out Rodri, they can be beaten, right? If you take Liverpool, you look at Liverpool and you wonder who do you have to take out?
Szoboszlai.
Whoever it is.
True.
Take out Szoboszlai. I don't think that attack is going to be that fluid.
They'll still cope. At least they'll cope better than City cope without Rodri.
Why don't you think Arsenal is hard to beat?
Well, Arsenal are hard to beat. I think that Arsenal are the best out of possession team in the league. They are extremely well organized.
I agree.
Extremely well organized. Yeah. They are like robots when they defend, right? And they've also dealt with some bad injuries. Like I mentioned that I thought that Arsenal are more difficult to beat than even Newcastle. I'll probably go for Liverpool, Arsenal, then City. Because like I said with City, if you take out Rodri, maybe KDB.
Yeah.
Then
actually, I changed my mind. I think it's Arsenal. Yeah. I'll take Arsenal over City. Yeah. I think they've I haven't really watched.
This therapy, right?
This therapy. What a moment!
Please clip this.
No, but I haven't watched a lot of football this season because it's been very hard on me. But every time I've seen an Arsenal game, I've been very impressed with the organization.
Out of possession.
What you said, out of possession, the organization.
We are also
is
impressed with you too.
I better go and sit down. I'm hurting.
So a lot of giveaways, a lot of things happening. If you manage to catch us at the end of the month, you might get a chance to get cases of Budweiser if you're part of our Hall of Fame marathon, the one where we lost so woefully the last time. So you know that it's real. Everybody got their Budweisers right? There's more Budweiser going out. Wonderful. I love it. Our production is plotting ways of making us all fail. Wonder why. it be your own people.
When we're talking about teams that are difficult to beat this season, it was unanimous from everyone here that Liverpool were actually going to be in the top 3 of teams that are difficult to beat. And Liverpool at Anfield, talking about difficult grounds to go to in the Premier League, Anfield is actually the toughest in my books. If you look at what they've done with the midfield, you always speak highly about Szoboszlai. And
how important he is.
How important he is for this Liverpool
that
side.
Amazing signing.
He is. And the funny thing is, when you look at, we spoke about like signings and some teams throwing money at players. If you look at Liverpool, they went from trying to get Caicedo and Lavia to getting Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. So if you're
don't forget McAllister, but I think that's what I'm saying. But
that's not. But if your club,
I don't know.
I don't know what it is. But if your club, you're really impressed with the midfield that you have now, and I think Liverpool for me, I said 2 weeks ago that I'd have Man City as the championship favorite, and I'd have Liverpool before I even have Arsenal.
Yeah.
So I think Liverpool.
I think Liverpool will be everybody's dark horses, considering how they finished last season.
Maybe grey horses, not so dark.
I mean, just because of how poorly they played last season.
I think that everybody also, if you draw a map of their last 4 or 5 seasons, you know that last season was an exception, and there was a clear reason.
That's what I'm saying. So for me, I still expect them to be at the level of Arsenal, Man City, and I say Arsenal just because of last season. When Liverpool was doing their thing, Arsenal was not even in the conversation at all. So I'm saying the teams that you are almost guaranteed that they'll get 3 points against almost any team in the league would be Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool. And Liverpool are doing that based on their form and how badly we know they can, how good we know they can play on their day. Who would you say is your MVP of the season so far? Would you say Rodri is that much of a runaway standout player?
That's a good question, actually. I
mean,
now. So far, as painful as it is for me to say, I'll actually tilt towards Maddison.
Oh yeah, Maddison.
Simply because of what he's done for this Spurs, and I mean, sadly for Spurs fans, he's not back till January because now he's out till the new year.
He cannot be the MVP of the season at the end of the season.
But obviously, but I'm saying like.
You said at this point.
So far, I know. I hate Tottenham, bro. Can you not hear it?
Why is the same boat?
You asked the question.
I'm just letting you know. I wasn't thinking he was going to go to Tottenham. I'm like.
No, but as I say, as painful as it is for me to say, I'll say
Maddison, Zobo, Doku as well. Hasn't played a lot of games, but his impact is phenomenal.
Ebuka, you haven't watched too much football this season, but
no, I haven't.
So far, so good. Who do you think
is stood out for you?
Not Onana.
Not
for sure.
That you mean? Oh, nah.
But I've seen Maddison play. I can see why, but I don't.
Not even Son. Because for all that Maddison is doing, without Son there to finish up.
The thing about Son is that he's been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
So
but the fact is he's lost his wingman or his co-conspirator, and now it's all on him to do it with the captain's band as well.
He's doing it really well.
He's doing it.
If not for a loss.
Phenomenal, Sorry.
Say again.
Sorry. No Doku.
Doku.
I won't even lie to you.
It's brilliant.
It's really good.
What were we looking
for?
Yeah.
Why couldn't Doku
even
Arsenal? You're looking at Kai now.
Kai, Mashi Bear.
Kai was correct training from April.
I know.
I don't know how they thought the name was fine.
Because what you think about, you guys are thinking Kai, so you have Kai.
I'm like, what were we thinking about Mohamed?
And you know Doku is around the same amount as Kai, right?
Yeah. Mohamed Kudus came in, was available at 50 million. We're talking about Diaby, Musa Diaby of Aston Villa.
Oh, yeah, Diaby
available at 50 million.
Diaby came, what? January?
This season, this summer. Yeah. So I'm like, all these Doku, Diaby, these are fantastic wingers that there's no way you're going to tell me.
Jimmy, no worry, Kai will come good.
Be patient.
And of course, with that, we come to the end of the show today. So remember to go on our predictor platform, which is, of course, www.budweiserfootballpredictor.com. And, of course, you also stand a chance of winning 50K on our YouTube episodes. Speaking of which, I am Jimmy. He is
Ozo.
And, of course, the man on the other side that is King. Biola Kazim. And you know the man that is our big brother,
Ebuka.
Obi Uchendu. With love, peace, and a lot of respect, Budweiser Kings of Football Show.
See you next week.
Is out.